What's up, future millionaires? You know, everyone is chasing the next big stock. But what if I told you the secret wasn't just about profits, but about pinpointing the right product in a booming market? Think Tesla crushing the EV scene, or NVIDIA powering the AI revolution. Fortunes are made when a company's product perfectly matches a rocket-fueled market. In this video, we're diving into a market so hot, it hardly even matters which specific company comes out on top. That's right. We're talking about creating wealth, not by luck, but by smarts. Your time is precious, so let's cut to the chase. Here's what we're covering today: the end-of-year stock market rally. Is it for real? The AI cycle. Where are we really at? AI's big challenges. What's holding it back? The solutions. Which companies are solving these problems? Stocks to watch. The ones that should be on your radar. All right, let's get straight to it. The year-end market rally. Is it just noise, or is something bigger happening? I'm going to drop a quick CNBC clip for context, and then we'll break it down with some eye-opening facts. Okay, so Dan Ives is fired up. He's saying this AI revolution is entering a whole new phase, and it's not just about the chips anymore. Now, if you're a longtime viewer, you know I love companies with platforms that others build on. I'm all about that hardware. AI chips, data center infrastructure, that's been my bread and butter, but Dan's point is huge. Software, which might have been lagging a bit, is poised to explode in 2025. So, what are these different phases, and who's going to dominate them? Let's take a look at this awesome study from Morgan Stanley. History doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. During the mobile internet boom, software and service companies like Google and Amazon were the big winners, but they came after the hardware infrastructure was in place. So, just like with the mobile boom, the hardware companies, like NVIDIA, came first. They've seen insane growth this year. And now? It looks like 2025 is primed for the software boom. The thing is, they also mentioned $2 trillion in AI infrastructure spending. But what's the next challenge going to be? Data. AI models need a crazy amount of data to train, and they generate even more when they're used. We're talking personal data, medical info, online behavior, chat logs, transaction details, the works. Now think about it. What's one thing every single company, government, even individual needs in today's world? It's security, right? And in the digital world, it's cybersecurity. This market isn't just growing, it's going bonkers. We're expecting it to triple in size in less than a decade with a 12% compound annual growth, and then for cloud security, it is expected to 5x by 2032. That's almost double the growth rate of overall cybersecurity, and it's why we need to pay attention. But cybersecurity is huge. It's like saying artificial intelligence. There are tons of subcategories. So how do we make sense of it all? Well, I found a brilliant market map created by Francis, aka Invest Analyst on X, which breaks it all down perfectly using simple principle. Instead of getting lost in the jargon, they break it down on first principles. Let's take a look. Okay, so at the core, every modern company has three things: people, software, and hardware. And these are all linked by a network that manages, stores, and protects their data, which is essentially what hackers want the most. Now, we have companies protecting all sorts of areas, including securing access to the network, identity protection, and endpoint protection. Think of access management like digital bouncers, ensuring only authorized people can get to specific parts of the network. Then there's identity protection, focused on your personal data, stuff like making sure your information doesn't get leaked online, and endpoint protection, which aren't focused on people. They're focused instead on all devices like your work laptop and phone. Speaking of endpoint protection, let's talk about a seriously impressive company. Crowdstrike. These guys are the bosses of endpoint detection and response. They have this platform called Falcon that's all about smashing breaches and responding to attacks, and it actually works. Their Falcon platform has a library of cloud-based modules that protect against things like viruses or malware, and it also uses a unique threat graph that tracks connections between users and their devices, to find anomalies and help prevent breaches. And they do all of this through a little piece of software on your device called an agent, which is what sends info back to Crowdstrike. Crowdstrike just crushed earnings, reporting a 29% year-over-year revenue growth even after a big outage, and is extremely recurring with subscriptions. They're also incredibly sticky with a 97% retention rate, and most people use up to 5 of their cloud modules. Did I mention they're the #1 in endpoint detection and response, beating out huge names like Palo Alto Networks and even Microsoft? And oh yeah, their stock is up huge this year, and they just got added to the S&P 500. Talk about a power move. Okay, so what happens if a device does get compromised? That's where Fortinet comes in. They're masters of intrusion detection systems and firewalls with their FortiGate system. Think of it as a security checkpoint, but for network data, not people. It routes data through the shortest path, which speeds up your network and also reduces security risks by decreasing the access points. These physical machines are really valuable for highly regulated areas like finance and healthcare. Fortinet isn't just stuck in the past, they are constantly upgrading their platform, adding things like zero-trust network access, verifying users continually, or inline cloud access security that takes those protections to apps on the cloud. And if you don't need on-site hardware, Fortinet offers firewalls as a service through FortiGate Cloud. They even have a generative AI assistant called FortiAI to help with threat detection. In their latest report, their revenue grew 13% year-over-year and showed record high margins with 83% gross margins and 36% operating margins, making them a profit powerhouse. Fortinet. These guys aren't just playing the game, they're defining it. Think of it like this. Gartner, the serious tech ranking guru, is basically saying Fortinet is the king of software-defined wide area networks, beating out tech giants like Hewlett-Packard, Broadcom, even the big names like Cisco and Palo Alto Networks. I put them on my stocks to get rich list almost a year ago, and Fortinet has been up by over 60% year to date. And that's why I think they're set to make my list again next year. Their hardware platforms are the real deal. They're like the Fort Knox of the internet. But hold on, because we've got another cybersecurity titan in the mix, Palo Alto Networks. This company isn't just good at one thing, they're like a Swiss Army knife for cybersecurity. They're crushing it in a ton of submarkets, security service edge, endpoint protection, you name it. Gartner ranks them as a market leader, alongside Crowdstrike and Microsoft. Plus, they're the only leader in something called Single Vendor Secure Access Service Edge, or SASE for short. Think of SASE like a super-powered web traffic security guard. It scans everything for malware. But it's not just that. Palo Alto Networks got a broad reach across all kinds of cybersecurity, which puts them in a prime position as AI continues to grow. Listen to this. They've been building AI into their platform, things like automated app discovery and continuous trust verification. And just recently they launched a precision AI platform. It's all about using AI to fight AI threats. They're using what they call AI and machine learning to protect themselves and their users from AI-based cyber attacks. They also just had some mind-blowing earnings results. Their next-generation security applications revenue grew by 40% year-over-year, and they're aiming to triple that by 2030. Not only that, their gross profit margins are at 77%. Operating margins are at 29%. That's exactly what I like to see. So, why are these companies so important? Well, just like Crowdstrike's Charlotte and Fortinet's FortiAI, Palo Alto Networks also has a bunch of AI co-pilots for each of their platforms. They're not just reacting to cyber threats, they're predicting them. It's like they're fighting fire with fire. So there you have it. Cybersecurity is a massive market with tons of potential for growth in the years to come, and it is essential. Companies like Crowdstrike, Fortinet, and Palo Alto Networks are just 3 examples of the incredible innovation and opportunity in this space, and are set to do very well this year and next year. They're market leaders Each of these companies are at the top of their game in different areas of the market. Strong earnings. They reported strong earnings results while others underperformed. Established companies. They're all in the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, meaning that institutional investors already hold them. And think about it. With AI now in our phones, tablets, and computers, we're all going to be consuming and producing a massive amount of new data. New threats are going to come out of this, and new rules, meaning cybersecurity, is going to become more important than ever. I'm seriously excited to learn more about this space in 2025, and I want to share what I find with you all. After all, understanding the science behind the stocks is the best way to get rich. Either way, thanks for watching, and until next time, this is Wealth Investopia, reminding you that the best investment you can make is in you.